Hello, I'm Greg Allison from Green Greg's Garden and Worm Farm. Today I'm going to teach you how to filter and sanitize your water by using both natural methods with the charcoal, sand, grass leaves, and rocks, and like a 2-liter bottle. This is actually a 50-ounce bottle, not a 2-liter bottle. A 2-liter bottle would probably be better than this. I will teach you how to use milk or water jugs, and I'm going to discuss various other forms of water filters that's on the market. And finally, stay tuned for my final tip. My final tip is going to be how to sanitize your water without using a fire or any chemicals like Clorox or iodine, which we'll discuss that too. So for starters, we're going to start with this bottle here. And we're going to make it the container for a water filter. Now this bottle actually would be quite useful in other means too, as I will discuss shortly. So what you got to do, we'll take the cap off, and we're going to cut the top off right here where it's the rounded end is stopped. So we have a good place to put things. Just bear with me as I saw through here. This tiny little pocket knife here is a bit of an overkill for cutting this, but it will work. And actually, you want to save this piece. Don't throw it away. You can catch water in it. There we go. So we'll come up with here. So what we're going to do now is we're going to find a rock that won't go through this bottom here. Ah, wow, lucked out right off the bat. And then we're going to add charcoal to it. And use charcoal from your campfire. I got a fire burning over here, I'll show you shortly. And you want about thumbnail sized pieces to go in it. If they fall through, then that's the rock is there to stop them. Now if you had cloth to use, you might actually want to put some fine grained charcoal in here, smaller stuff, but that's alright. Use a charcoal. Actually, I'd prefer sand at the last stage myself if you have really clean sand, but charcoal is actually better for killing stuff. Some of these chunks are too big. Just take the charcoal out of your fire, let the fire cool down a little bit, and then get the pieces that are about thumbnail size. And we're going to put a fair little bit of this stuff in here. Really, you want to get it about where this curvature stops. Then use sand or dirt that's you know, kind of grainy and not too dirty, if you can help it, if you know what I mean. Yeah, that's funny. So the cleaner the dirt, the sand, the better. The sand's actually got a little bit of compost in it from leaf matter and so forth, so it's not pure sand, but it's pretty close. Put about the same amount of sand in there as you did charcoal. Now, what I like to do is take, this is a dried grass that I've grabbed over there. Just take some of this, form it into a nice ball, and stuff it here. That's a little too much. Just take some out. Stuff it down into the top of the bottle. Pack all this stuff down a little bit. See, that charcoal staying thanks to my rock. And add some rock. These are just gravel that I got. Now what I got to tell you is this. This is filtration. It is not sanitization, or what some people would call purification. I'm going to put a couple holes in here. Whoop. Problem with this plastic is, be careful with the knife. This plastic is slick and it wants to deform. Might be best to cut it from the inside. Yep. I usually use a pocket knife for this. What I'm putting holes in here for is to give it something to hang stuff from. Now I'm going to use a piece of greenbrier as cordage. Now I could have used a piece of this running blackberry, or this may be strawberry actually, wild strawberry. That looked like it'd make decent cordage. Or this little green limb I cut off of a tree, which I strips most of the little limbs off of. But I saw this greenbrier and I decided, oh, that'd be less work. Yeah, it's got little stickers on it, but if your hands aren't too soft, it might be easier to work with. And let me find my holes again. You could use a shoelace. You could use parachute cord. I'm using something natural here. Or I could have used the leg strap down cord from my K-bar knife that I'm using over here. Hey, I like a K-bar. The Marine Corps K-bar is a great knife. Like I say, you may get a few stickers in you when you do this if you're using greenbrier, but I got tough hands. I'm going to hang it down here. Let's just make a loop up here at the top. Just hang it down. We'll finish filling it up with rock. Careful, yeah, I'm dropping a few rocks out, but don't matter. I got plenty of them. Yeah, it's got stickers on it. So you might, whoops, okay, she broke. It may be too brittle. It says dry. It's hard to find greenish cordage in wintertime. It says February. So let me do a wider loop instead of the tighter thing I just tried. The sapling, this is about all I'd have to do, is just do what I just did there. Let's see if I can make something of a knot here. Now I'm actually making this tighter than I wanted. I want to hang down some, just so I can pour the water in it so you can see what I'm doing. Actually, I wonder, the little briar stickers might make it catch. Hold the weight. I don't think so though. Just want to break some. We are dropping a few rocks. Okay. Maybe not the best idea today. Now if it were in the summertime or spring, that greenbrier would be just great. Greenbrier ain't going to cut it. Alright, that's an example of what we don't want to do. Greenbrier. Try the strawberry. Wild strawberry, I think that's what this is. It seems to be more pliable. It's got a bad spot in it. Hopefully it won't break on me. It's pulling the leaves through and everything. Again, it's got stickers on it. But I ain't afraid of no sticker. I grew up in a briar patch. And ya la la la. Good. You see? Strawberry hill. Still got the leaves on it. I saw that Cody guy on the survival shows, the one from the desert. He was up out of his area up in Kentucky, I believe, along the Ohio River, and he thought he'd come across poison oak and was all worried about it because he went everywhere barefooted. I don't know if you guys remember that particular series. I forget the exact name of the show. There's one that had like two guys in it that would be surviving together. And guess what? He was all scared of the poison oak, and it was strawberries, wild strawberries. I could tell from looking at it. I died laughing when I saw that show. So even your experts have limitations. This water is dirty. I got it out of the ditch. It has algae in it. It has all kind of mess growing in it. And so what I'm going to do is pour it through this filter. And at first it's just going to pour through and wash out a lot of the nasty stuff. Whoop. And it's going to take a little bit to go all the way through there, get everything wet. And that was from the hose. All right, now she's draining through. And it's draining through dirty because there's still a lot of particulate in here. The charcoal's got to wash out. And it's going to take a few times to filter this water, just to run it through. Now I'm going to let this kind of drain through just to wash up the stuff in the filter. We'll let it drain through a little bit. Then we're going to find our little trusty dusty end cap I just cut off. We're going to put it to use in a moment, start catching some of this water. Water's starting to look purer, cleaner coming out the bottom, but she's not clean. Got some charcoal pieces in it. If you had a piece of cloth to catch some of that, it might be better. Cycle it back and forth a little bit. Oops. You might see it looks better than it did. I don't think it's in there, but it's going to take a while for it all to really clear out. So the basic idea is here that you keep doing this until you get clear water. Now ideally you'd have something else down here catching it instead of you using the same container, because you know I'm wasting water doing this. And I got things to do that with over here, but I'm going to show you other things with them instead. Now it might work better to put this on a stick or put it somewhere a little easier than I did here. So I'm pouring this on. Everything in here through, now I can catch it in here. And the sand is still washing through here. Fire's about to get me, I think. Well, the fire, that's how you get your charcoal. It's also one of the ways to purify your, sanitize, excuse me, your water. So, I can swap these out. Use that lid cap to kind of help hold things while I'm doing that, back and forth. And you can just keep doing that until the water gets clear. It's going to take quite a few cycles. The bigger the container, the more filtration material you have, the better it will work. A 2-liter bottle will work better than this 50-ounce bottle. And another thing I'm going to show you is another way to do that. I could have set all that up in milk jugs. Now if I had used milk jugs, what I could have done is had one with a lid on it to catch, and the other one I could have packed, I could have put the rock in here, I could have put charcoal, sand, the leaf matter, and rock on top. I wouldn't have had to make cordage, and I could just stuck it in there like that and found a place where I could stick it, and it would catch automatically. And you just recycle. That's a pretty nifty way to do it. I haven't seen anybody show that method. So that's maybe a new one for you. Now this water is draining through, and she's looking better than she did. It's still dirty. I've actually got sand in the bottom of this cup from the previous drain. But so we could keep cycling this for a little bit, but rather than sit here and cycle this all day, I'm going to show you some other things. Now let me explain water filtration. Water filtration basically clears a lot of your debris and some of your turbidity out of your water. A good water filter can take out Giardia. This water filter that we built here won't do that. It will not take out the bacteria. You still have to sanitize your water. Even with a good water filter, you should sanitize your water. So I'm going to show you here the Sawyer and the Life Straw filters. These tell you they take out Giardia. And but what they don't take out is viruses. Now, so yeah, maybe the majority of your worry is Giardia. I've got those. Now I'm going to tell you that I've actually used this water filter here. This is my first one I bought. I don't know what the brand name on it is anymore, but this is the kind that came with a pump. Came with these filter baskets, and it came with a coil with a copper tube, and the copper weight on it, coil. And you could put this in here and suck it out just like a Life Straw. It's been in this bag forever, and it's kind of icky. It's making me worry a little bit. But in any event, again, I have drunk with this thing. I'm still alive. I'm still walking. I didn't get sick, but I could have, because this, nor this, nor even my nice big home style pure filter with a ceramic filter. I love this one. This is really good for cleaning water at home. It's got that big ceramic filter in it. That does not stop a virus. The pore sizes in all these filters are too large to stop viruses from going through your water. So you have to be able to sanitize that water to kill the viruses. So you have to be able to sanitize that water to kill the viruses. And as I mentioned, there are multiple ways to do that. And so what I'm going to show you, initially, we're going to talk about the chemical ways. The chemicals to treat water are typically Clorox and iodine. Clorox, bleh. 2 drops per quart. And you can multiply. There's 4 quarts in a gallon. If you can remember that, it's 8 drops per gallon. It's about the same with iodine. I'd prefer iodine because if you take in iodine, at least it can go to your thyroid and inhibit the intake of certain radioactive elements that give you thyroid problems. So it could help you in a radiological situation. And our potassium pills to help you with that. potassium iodine is, to be more specific. But and I may be a little bit off on the iodine because that is potassium iodine pills. However, it said I prefer to use iodine over Clorox. That said, there is another way you can sanitize your water. As you see, we're using a plastic bottle here as a filter holder for all the materials we've got in here. And we're still running some of this stuff through. It's going to take quite a few runs. And as I said earlier, it'd be better if I had a 2-liter bottle. Even better yet, for family size or bug in, use 5-gallon buckets. You could set a bucket up actually with each material in it and not have them all in one bucket and just stack them inside of each other. And you could have a bottom bucket as a catchment. You could put a brick or something there so that it don't settle all the way to the bottom. You might do that with the other buckets. But anyway, so now for the best tip of all. Now you know you can boil water in a plastic bottle. Maybe you know that, maybe you don't. It will not burn past the point that the water is in it. But that's not the best thing you can do with the plastic water. If you boil water in it, you make it black. You mess it up in a sense. There's another way to purify water with a plastic bottle. With a plastic bottle, it will let in UV. So if you put a string around this and put it on your back or lay it out in the sun and just roll it around some, and 2 or 3 hours, it should, through the UV, if it's not a cloudy day, you may want to leave it out longer than a cloudy day. I'd leave it out longer anyway. You wouldn't want to use a bottle larger than this. This is an Aquafina bottle, about 38 fluid ounces. Basically, you don't want it over 3 inches in diameter. So a bottle like this, with the UV coming in, should kill most of what's in it. So if you're trying to do stealth camping, you don't want to build a fire, you can purify and sanitize your water, but you got to have water that's filtered for this, because if the water is turbid, it's going to limit how far the virus goes through, I mean how far the UV goes through. So again, you want to have a filtration device set up of some type to clean that water out. You could use any of these devices that I've showed you here, or the Pore Pure, or you could do other things. Now, the final thing to do to purify your water when you're camping, in most situations, the really best thing to do is to boil your water. Water can be boiled, as I said, in a plastic cup. I'd rather not do that also because of the chemicals you can get out of the plastic. You could boil it in a tin can. Hopefully you got one of those little canteen cups. This is my canteen cup. This is what goes in the bottom of my canteen in the pouch. You can boil water, you can make tea in it. And the key thing with water, once it's at a rolling boil, not a simmering boil, not just a few bubbles, get it to a rolling boil. Once it's to a rolling boil, you're good. The water is safe to drink in terms of anything that could hurt you biologically. There should be no viruses and no bacteria. About 170, 75 degree range should kill most of that stuff, 180 guaranteed. The reason you boil it, which at sea level is 212 degrees, is as you go up in altitude, you're not probably measuring the temperature of the water if it's 170 or 185, and you got to keep it at that temperature for a certain time frame, a few minutes I think. Once you're boiling, you're gold. You know that, because even if you're climbing mountains, even though the temperature of boiling drops down, you're not going to, for most hikes, maybe if you're on top of the Mount Everest, but for most hikes you're not going to get high enough to be concerned with that for mountain climbing. So if you're a mountain climber, consult your experts in that area to get advice on that. But essentially, to cap it off, you can filter your water first. Then you can, hopefully some of your filters will almost have it purified. And I've got the Life Straw and the Sawyer device. I don't use either one by itself. And you can either boil your water, put iodine in it, or Clorox. Iodine 2 drops per quart, Clorox 2 drops per quart. I think some of them might have used a teaspoon of water of Clorox for a gallon. That sounds like a bit much. Clorox is only good for so long. It will die off and lose its effectivity after, well, dying off is not a good term. It will lose its effectivity after a period of time. So you might want to use the dried pool granules that they use to put chlorine in pools. That'll do the same thing. You just have to mess around with the concentration rates. Viruses can cause you gastroenteritis. That is diarrhea, vomiting, fevers, that kind of phenomenology. And some of these viruses that can cause that are like the adenovirus, the astrovirus, hepatitis A and C, which also can give you hepatitis, rotavirus, the norovirus. There's some others like the calciovirus, the enterovirus, and that includes other families such as the Coxsackie viruses and polioviruses. I don't know, that's kind of strange to me. And there's also in urine you can find the polymarovirus. I think I butchered that. And this sounds terrible. Cytomegalovirus. Cytomegalovirus. Wow, that sounds bad. But you can also get other conditions like influenza. And you can have encephalitis, meningitis, cancer. There's other sicknesses that these viruses can cause, quite a few. You don't want to get viruses from your water. So trust me, you want to sanitize your water to kill the viruses. And just remember, without water, you can only survive 3 days. And this dirty water here might just kill you quicker. So you've got to know how to filter it, purify it, and sanitize it more than anything. It's got to be sanitized. And that's what I'm showing. As a final note, my apologies for it being so dark as I'm recording this video. And I'll try to hold the camera higher so you're not looking at me like a 4-year-old. How about that? One of the things I'm doing is I'm really busy. I'm a super busy guy. I don't get but about 4 hours sleep a night. I have so much going on. It's hard for me to put these videos together, but I know you want the content. So I'm doing everything I can to get content out to you. And that's a struggle. I'm crazy busy. I've got a full-time job at NASA. I'm as a contractor. I do power grid defense. I have a committee on that. I'm president of the Huntsville, Alabama L5 Society again now. Yeehaw. And I've got a market garden. You can see I got the turmeric out here I've just harvested. The market garden suffered a little bit this year. And I've been doing construction today. This is my solar thermal hot water system from my aquaponics system. I'll do a special video on that soon. And this is a construction site very much out here. I get hit for not using the tripod as much. Well, it takes a lot of time to set up and use a tripod. Time is something I really don't have, but I did it some today. And it's going to take me a lot more time to edit this video, having done that. These are boards I'm using on that I used as a table today. These are boards I'm actually using to trim out my aquaponics solar system. And there's my fire for water sanitation and producing charcoal. So you can see this is very much a work site. I'm very much involved in plumbing and building and all that. So I am a busy puppy. So it's usually late when I get to making videos and doing other things. You may notice I'm planting microgreens at 2 o'clock in the morning sometimes in some of those videos. And the videos you see me posting are often filmed back in December. This is the 3rd day of February. It was really cold the last couple of days, and today you see me out here in just nothing but a river shirt, short sleeve. And I'm quite warm actually. So the weather varies a lot. But so my apologies for the lateness. The sun is setting. You can probably hear frogs. My neighbors riding their motorcycles. As you know, I actually live in a urban subdivision. Don't it look like it? Check it out in my other videos. Yeah, it looks like I'm in an urban subdivision, don't it? Well, actually I am. I got the back corner lot here. And there's my greenhouse. A lot of the videos coming out of there in the near future. So, again, please subscribe and bang the update notification bell. You're going to see a lot of stuff on this channel. And I hope to produce higher quality videos in the future. Thank you. And always remember, boys and girls, put your fire out.